Welcome back, George Ensle, please.
Play you a song here, thank you, that I wrote for Townes Van Zandt. When his fingers ring the silver strings, his spirit sings on golden wings, words to fly you from your world of care, words to tie you to people everywhere. He's a troubadour, lost in his song, out the road we're traveling on. May he find love between the lines, and high above him sweet sunshine. He's a city street, he's a country mile, lines cut deep around his smile. He's bars and stars, a boy and a man who goes too far for a one-night stand. He's a troubadour, lost in his song, about the road we're traveling on. May he find love between the lines, high above in sweet sunshine. Ragged as the wind, pure as the snow, no place to stay, everywhere to go. He leaves for no reason, home behind, and finds a way to make it right. The troubadour, lost in his song, about the road we're traveling on. May he find love between the lines, high above him, sweet sunshine.
George, will you tell the story about Townes and him buying that boat?
When my oldest daughter was born, Townes said, "George, I want you to," my creative daughter, he said, "I want to give you a Bible for Charlotte." And I said, "Oh, well, that's cool." So I went over to his house, and he had a bookcase filled with Gideon Bibles. And they were color coded. There was a gold shelf and a green shelf and a red shelf and a purple shelf. I said, "Townes, you're not supposed to take those out of the motel rooms." He said, "That's why they put them there. So you'll take them." I said, "No, they put them there so you'll read them while you're there." And he said, "We'd have to stay a pretty good while." So I said, "I'll take a green one." Yeah, we'll tell the boat story later, the lightning story later. It's a little bit lengthy. Meantime, we'll do a pretty song. This is a song that called "Cantas con tu corazón," which in Spanish means you sing with your heart. where smoky light is spilling out of alleyway bars onto children curled sleeping beside shiny new cars. There sings a sad beauty, there shines a sad star down on the borderline. In her song there's a dream that has never come true. In her heart there's a rose she holds out for you. In her memories are wars fought by old for the few who draw the borderline. Cant Ask Owen tu corazón. You sing with your heart for free. Why must you swim that river to feed your family? In a candlelit chapel, in an Easter sunrise, beside tiny fires, beneath Villa skies, the hope of the world burns in your children's eyes. Behind the borderline, for you will keep on believing in the words to your tune, singing your children to sleep beneath that third world moon. Your song of love, it has many names and knows no borderline. Cant Ask Owen tu corazón, and his light will shine on thee. For love is a river, we are one family. Cant Ask Owen tu corazón, the light will shine, shine in thee. For love is a river and must be our destiny. Our destiny. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody here have any credit card debt?
Silly question.
Which time?
How many refis does it take? This is called losing interest. True story, mostly. I opened up the mailbox in my front yard, saw they'd sent me a credit card. Bought a couple things that I had to have, a new bass boat and a trailer to match. Fell for the oldest trick in the book, bait and switch, and they set the hook with a little thing they call fine print, making what I owed twice what they'd lent. They said, I could buy my American dream. They said, sign on the line, you can make the scene. No money down, man, it's a heck of a deal. They said I sure look good behind the wheel. And then I made one late payment and my interest went from 9 to 49.9%. They set the drag and they was reeling me in. I was snagged and floundering. Then I added it up, it came to me, I'll be buying that boat when I'm 93. I'll die so broke they'll have to bury me in my favorite lake or out at sea. They said I could buy an American dream. Sign on the line, son, you can make the scene. No money down, what a deal. Man, you sure look good behind the wheel. So I sold that boat and that trailer too. These days I'm floating in the used canoe. Did some plastic surgery on my credit card net, and they never did land this old redneck. So now I'm living within my means. I ain't spending it if it ain't in my jeans. Take my advice, don't buy on credit. They'll put you on ice, you'll live to regret it. They'll say you can buy your American dream. Sign on the line, now you can make the scene. No money down, it's a heck of a deal. They'll say you sure look good behind the wheel. I'm losing interest. Thank you. Well, we digress.
How far?
Mary mops the office floor after everyone's gone. 5 days she's a waitress, a strong single mom. At the bus stop she sees an old man asleep on a bench. He slips a 50 in his pocket that she needs for rent. It says homeless vet on the cardboard he holds. He fell through the net, and now he's fighting the cold. But when a girl in a wheelchair can't quite cross the street, he pushes her gently with his shuffling feet. These everyday heroes, ones who teach me to care and keep me believing in a world that's filled with heroes everywhere. These Olympics are special, she wheels out on the track. But when she takes the lead, she turns and goes back to help Mary's boy, wearing tears on his face. And the crowd claps the loudest for those two in last place. And then when Mary meets her boy, smiling at the finish line, her gift comes full circle with the tie that binds each act of kindness for a stranger in a chain of hearts and hands that forever remain. They are points of light in the darkness. Sometimes they are the Jesus I see, and sometimes I can't help but wonder, who do they see when they look at me? These everyday heroes are the ones who teach me to care and keep me believing in a world that's filled with heroes everywhere.
Thank you.
Sweet Texas rain is falling in the hills, filling the streams, shining up old stones. The sun breaks through to a river sights and sounds, and me and you, hey, coming back around. Smooth Texas breeze moves through ancient trees, filling the sky with God's own poetry. Then the turtle dove sings of beauty to be found. Precious love is coming back around. So let us rest a while, oh, let us find our smile. We'll be still and know this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Fine Texas diamonds are shimmering in the sun. They're filling your eyes with dreams and memories of the ways each eternally we're bound to keep on coming back around. Oh, sweet Texas rain is falling in the hills.
Well, I was speaking earlier about new CD I'm working on, and the concept paying homage to the rural working class and small town. This is called Small Town Sundown.
Bought that blue 63 Bonneville off of Fort Worth showroom floor. I paid cash for it with the money I'd saved, working summers on the rigs offshore. Sometimes I'll still put her top down and go cruising across the countryside, just to feel freedom's wind blowing through my head, and thank the good Lord I'm alive. She was built in the days when this country took pride in doing hard work that I had made in the USA on the tag of my blue collar shirt. Well, I've been married to the same fine lady since 1952, and our loving's just gotten stronger from all the living we've been through. She still keeps the letters that I sent her when I was all fighting in that Korean War, tied up with her yellow hair ribbon, by her Bible in her nightstand drawer. And you know we still go out dancing most every Saturday night. These days we don't take quite as many steps, but we hold each other just as tight. We had two beautiful twin daughters in 1958. And they've given us 6 grandkids, and they've given us 3 greats. You know the young ones still spend summers with us. They love Mama's dewberry jam. She takes them out in her garden so they can know the feel of dirt in their hands. You see, they was all raised in the city. We try to show them a simpler way. Sometimes we lay in the yard, try to count all them stars, and catch dinner out of blue cypress lane. You know, I've been going to the same little white church since the Sunday after I was born. And when I die, they'll plant me in that church cemetery overlooking the McAllister farm. It's the closest thing to heaven on this earth that I ever seen. That creek winding through shimmering cottonwood trees and 1,000 shades of green. I'm not much on Bible pounders. I believe that Jesus was a quiet man, and forgiveness and love were the biggest part of what he tried to help us understand. You know, I bought this filling station back in 1964. You know, I still clean your windshield, and I still check your oil. And at the end of the day, when my work is done, I drive to my house just outside of town. I sit on the back porch with the love of my life and watch a small town sun go down.
Glad you like that. All right. Glad you like that. All right, let's do a. We can do a song about. I got 2 Christmas songs. One I wrote with Greg Whitfield, and one I wrote with Jeff Talmadge. One of them is about the Christmas truce of World War I. You vote for that one? It's a true story. But the good side of human nature.
The Belgian night was filled with stars, not fire from our guns, and we heard the Christmas carols from their trenches being sung. The words we could not understand, but the melodies were clear. They were the same ones we had learned back in our childhood years. Well, soon we joined in with them, singing in harmony with the boys a day ago we killed as enemies. But when we sang together of our blessed Savior's birth, for all mankind there for a time we knew peace on earth. Now it's 3 on a match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear. Tommy and Fritz, boys, are sharing Christmas cheer. But the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. For the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. With Christmas dawn they left their trenches, shovels in their hands, to bury their dead brothers in a frozen no man's land. One by one we dropped our guns, climbed out to do the same. Put our boys in foreign soil with crosses without names. The dreaded Huns were boys like us, looking like old men, whose fragile lives fought to survive like candles in the wind. Shell shock from the rounds of artillery we threw, snuffed out by snipers' bullets, diphtheria and flu. But when we shook their hands, suddenly there was no war. Played a game of soccer, heard the birds once more, shared cigarettes and stories of our loved ones left behind, and how each day we prayed we'd get to see them one more time. It's 3 on a match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear. Tommy and Fritz, boys, are sharing Christmas cheer. But the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. For the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. They had to move us down the line, for we refused to fire on the boys we sang with in that ragtag Christmas choir. For we remembered on that day what he was sent here for, and we prayed this would be the war to end all war. 3 on a match, boys, tonight we'll have no fear. Tommy and Fritz, boys, are sharing Christmas cheer. Let the generals give their orders from the Kaiser and the King. It's for the Prince of Peace, boys, tonight we're gonna sing. For the Prince of Peace, tonight we're gonna sing. For the Prince of Peace, tonight we're gonna sing. That's a Greg Whitfield co-write. Yeah, my buddy Greg. We had a weenie and a bag of barbecued H-E-B potato chips.
Well, that's something to brag about.
And wrote that song, and I said, Greg, if we get a couple T-bone steaks, man, we're going to write a hit.
Uncle Jack.
I did them. Did I not do Uncle Jack? Oh, I did that for the... Okay, yeah, I did that for the recording. But I'll do that now. That's a good request. Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack always was a rounder. He drove a pickup Ford. He drank beers and Sears easy chairs, reading Louis L'Amour. I'd sleep on his sofa summer Saturday nights. When I was with Uncle Jack, I felt a little more alive. Well, Uncle Jack never was a wage slave. He was his own man, with his own recipe for living. He ran a hamburger stand. He had a sign that read, "Gone fishing, he never would be one to let work get in the way of us having some fun." The black sheep of the family, sometimes late at night, he'd show up at our house a little bit too tight. Mama'd tuck him in on the sofa, and when she thought he was asleep, I'd watch her lean over and kiss him on the cheek. You know, Uncle Jack never missed my birthday. He'd always come around with a brand new crisp $5 bill he got from the bank downtown. He'd say, "I'll arm wrestle you for it," and he'd always let me win. And he'd say, "Maybe next time," with a wink and a grin. Uncle Jack always played catch with me when no one else had time. Taught me how to throw a football and how to tie my fishing line. Taught me how to sink the 8-ball and win it on the break. He'd say close only counts with horseshoes and hand grenades. You know, I never told a soul but when I was a kid. And I'd spend the night with him, one thing he always did. After he'd tuck me in and thought I was asleep, he'd lean over that old sofa, kiss me on the cheek. Well, Uncle Jack didn't grow old and in the way, he just moved down to the coast, where a man can dance, remember France, and do a little toasting. And I still go to see him every now and then, living by his wits and the grace of God. There'll be no change in him. I got to thinking about the Old Cowboys and why they called them hired hands. And obviously, that's what you're hiring. That's what this song is called. The old cowboy sat on a bar stool, drinking a cold Lone Star. CNN was on in the corner of that small town Texas bar. Well, I sat down and said howdy. It's sure been a hot one today. He said, I know, I've been out in it on the back of a dapple gray. Well, he wore a faded work shirt, soaked with a working man's sweat. His hands were hard, but his fingers were nimble, rolling cigarettes. His neck was red and wrinkled with diamonds that I'd once heard are the mark of a man who's lived a good life. So when he spoke, I caught every word. He said, I've always been one to spend my days in the sun, working for the brand. It's a hard life, but it's the one I chose so I could be a free man. I like riding out in God's open country. I like living on the land, doing a good day's work for a good day's pay. Using these hired hands, these hired hands. He said these hired hands built a ranch with stone, steel, and wood. These hired hands make things right and make a promise good. They still cook on campfires, they still drink from streams, they're still making my living, I'm still living my dream. And I'll always be one to spend my days in the sun, working for the brand. It's a hard life, but it's the one I choose, so I can be a free man. Now I'll be riding out in God's open country, in the middle of his master plan, doing a good day's work for a good day's pay. Using these hired hands, these hired hands. The old cowboy sat on a bar stool, drinking a cold Lone Star. CNN was on in the corner of that small town Texas bar. Thank you. This is one I wrote with Jeff Talmadge. Anybody here know who Jeff Talmadge is? Jeff Talmadge. He's a really, really fine, very talented and deep songwriter. He's an expatriate, though. He left Texas and moved to Atlanta. Well, let me qualify. Oh, wait a minute. I should back up. He married up. As a result, we all did, didn't we? All the songwriters. We all married up. We're just lucky. We've admired each other's work for a good while, and year ago or so, I decided I wanted to start co-writing, and so Bob Cheevers and I wrote a song. It's on Bob's CD, and Jeff Talmadge and I wrote this one here. It's called "In the Quiet of Christmas." The streets are all empty, the parking lots too. Stores are all closed on the old avenue. Snowflakes are whispering down a blanket of white, as if to say, with the world all is right. In the distance, the call of wild geese floats through the air, with the laughter of children without a care. And down at the mission, the dinner bell rings, as lost souls find shelter at the gathering. In the quiet of Christmas, as soft as the baby's first breath, in the stillness you can notice all the ways this life is blessed. In the quiet of Christmas, like no other day of the year. In the quiet of Christmas, it's amazing how much you can hear. If you listen, you might hear a faraway train bringing a young soldier back home again, with the squeaking of brakes on an old yellow cab, bringing a young runaway back to her mom and dad. It's carolers singing at the end of the street, mother in the kitchen humming softly and sweet. It's the voice on the line from an old long lost friend you thought that you'd never hear from again. In the quiet of Christmas, as soft as the baby's first breath, in the stillness you can notice all the ways this life is blessed. In the quiet of Christmas, like no other day of the year. In the quiet it's amazing how much you can Thank you. That was nice singing. This is a song that I call a clap along. I play this at the cowboy churches a lot, and my gospel brunches a lot. Now, there's two ways to clap. As you probably know, there's the Protestant clap, which is, well, let's say the Methodist, Episcopalian, Presbyterian clap. Then there's the Baptist clap. Yeah. Now, the Protestants, I mean, the Methodists, Presbyterians. You know, I'm a Frisbitarian. I believe when you die, your soul goes on the roof and you can't get it down. Presbyterians. Now, get the dog. Get the dog. Get the hook. Now, see that's the way Methodists, Episcopalians, Presbyterians. Now the Baptists, I got some soul. All right, Harold's getting it together here. If you're feeling hungry, longing to be fed, if your life feels empty, you can fill it with the bread made by the great Creator, given to us all for free, guaranteed to feed you for all eternity. I'm talking about the bread of life. I'm talking about the bread of life. I'm talking about He who came down here to make our burdens light. Talking about the bread of life. Talking about the bread of life. God's great love I'm singing of. Talking about the bread of life. Jesus fed 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves. They passed around that basket and each ate all they could hold. Then He fed their worried minds with His beatitude, and He fed their troubled hearts with His sweet good news. He was talking about the bread of life. He was talking about the bread of life. Talking about the way, truth, beauty, and the light. He was talking about the bread of life. Talking about the bread of life. God's great love He was singing of. Talking about the bread of life. Here we go, Harold. All right, take a ride now. Yeah. Well, then at His last supper, He gathered around His friends, broke bread, gave them each a piece of Him. He said, feed the hungry multitudes to the ends of this earth. With this bread baked on heaven's hearth, offered at my birth. He was giving them the bread of life, giving them the bread of, where's that clapping? Giving them His saving grace, everlasting sacrifice. Giving them the bread of life, giving them the bread of life. God's great love He was, sent from above. He was giving them the bread of life. He was giving them the bread of life. Giving them His saving grace, everlasting sacrifice. Giving them the bread of life. He was giving them the bread of life. God's great love, giving them the bread of life. Go, Harold! Giving them the bread of life. God's great love sent from above, giving them the bread of life. God's great love sent from above, giving them the bread of life. God's great love sent from above, giving them the bread. Life. Don't leave earth without it. Thank you.